No, you can't see it. It's been damn cold for autumn here. We get these blasts up from the Antarctic. But, yeah. Anyway, hey, look, there's Gumby and Pokey up in the room I never go into, the bathroom. Hi guys. Sorry. I feel invigorated after seeing Alan's last two videos. Static Traveller, excellent. Yeah, SHOESTAKEOFFITCH. Regarding CDs, those Naxos were pretty shit, but they were super cheap in Australia. See, in Australia, CDs were horrendously expensive, like $30 for a CD, whereas in the US they were $10 or $12. Sorry, got to do this thing. It's the second one today. Oh, yeah, those Naxos were great to get an idea of if you've never heard that piece. I mean, I think they were less than $10 in Australia, which was great value. And you know, they were pretty dodgy, but they were cheap. So that's just inspired me, because there's no way in the world I'll find that vinyl that you, Alan, showed today. I wish there's just no way to be. I'll never ever find it here. So it's but it's just funny how times change, and I mean, this is a Decca recording CD. I had another one as well. Symphonies 3 and 12. I've always had a bit of Symphony number 12 in D minor, the year 1917. Symphony number 3 in E flat major, opus 20, the 1st of May. I think it's got something to do with commos. Isn't the 1st of May the day when all the commos get excited? But this is a pretty good one. The Bach Choir, Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, Vladimir Ashkenazy. But yeah, I've always found Shostakovich a bit of hard work. I know he's brilliant, but I had another one in this series too. I don't know what happened to it, but Decca, see? Good sound. And this is early Deccas too on the CD. See that? They're good. So I think that's all I've got regarding Shostakovich. But yeah, that was really, really good. Really enjoyed that piece, or what I heard of it. So I'll definitely keep my eyes peeled for that. Just on another note, I mean, I think you said it was 1964. It's funny to think back now that, you know, it was hard. It's sort of hard to stomach any Russian or nationalistic sort of stuff, especially in this day and age with the bullshit going on in the Ukraine, anarchy in the Iran. You know, 64, that's 2 years after the Cuban Missile Crisis. I'm old enough to know the horror of growing up in the 1950s, the fear of being annihilated at any moment. It was always in the background. That's why rock and roll and Coca-Cola and space age looking cars and stuff were so prevalent, because it was just a way of, you know, holding off the dread and fear that everyone lived through in the 50s. The fear of just being wiped out at any moment, at any time. So 64 is 2 years after the Cuban Missile Crisis, where Khrushchev, you know, the Cuban Missile Crisis. Christ, that was so close, man. That's why Bob Dylan's first albums were so important, even though he's a piece of garbage and has been since the late 60s. Those early Bob Dylan records. I was into Bob Dylan when I was 11. I didn't buy them, but I knew a guy that from school, he was a hunchback, Stephen Looms, and highly intelligent guy. You know, he's a bit of a dwarf sort of a thing, with a hunchback and that. He's all bent, funny, walk like a crab or something. But he's super intelligent. I used to love hanging out at his place. And he used to play his brother's Bob Dylan records. And so we were like 10 or 11. This is like before the Beatles. Can you imagine 10-year-old, 11-year-old kids sitting around listening to Bob Dylan records and digging it? So, yeah, I was into Dylan before I even heard of the Stones or the Beatles. Funny, isn't it? And, yeah, so it was a very, very scary time. Very scary. And that's another, the hysteria thing, you know, JFK was assassinated and then suddenly the Beatles appear, and the hysteria thrown towards the Beatles was, you know, like it's another escape, the horror of possible nuclear annihilation, the horror of a popular president shot down and live on TV. So the Beatles were an escape fantasy, and that's why that people took to them so readily. It's all in context. Everything's in context of the time. Music and art, it's all of its time, and so it should be. It should represent one, you know, that time. And so I find it hard to empathise with any feelings of Russian, you know, at this point in time. I know it's not the Russian people that want a war, it's just that filthy criminal Rasputin guy. And it's the same old deal. Poor old Europe. I mean, it's, you know, that's where my ancestry is, and Northwest Europe. The thing is, they always end up picking the worst sort of shit for leaders. I just can't believe it, you know. Anyway, this is a waffle. It's gone for 7 minutes already. Yeah, so Shostakovich. It's when you think of classical music, you tend to think they all died by the 1940s, but no, a couple of the famous ones were writing well into their old age and still even into the 1960s, I think. But yeah, that was so good to hear. That really good. And the other problem is, I was looking at my little amplifier, one of my amplifiers I've got using at the moment. It's a Myriad British amplifier I bought about, I don't know, 10 years ago. And it's pretty good little amplifier. But I noticed it's called a Z144 or something, or 142, Z142. And it's got that same Zorro Z that those Russians put on their tanks. I thought, holy fuck. Yeah. I think that Z must mean Zelensky, you know. Anyway, politics. Who needs it? Anyway, this is just a bullshit video. Just saying thanks to Alan. Okay, take care all. Bye now.